Peace, family. What's up, y'all? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Welcome back to Karen's World. Look, y'all, we have a growing global community. I am so excited for all of my new subscribers. I want to invite you guys, if you are not subscribed to my channel, I want to invite you to like and subscribe, share this video, share it with your mom and them, your dad and them, your cousins, your brother, whoever, right? And so anyway, I do want to thank you guys for being here and for tuning in to another video. So look, y'all, I think I did this video before, but because our community is growing rapidly, I really wanted to do this video again so that people could have this video pretty much at their fingertips, right? The Africa buzz is on the move. People are becoming interested. People are wanting to connect with the motherland. Look, if you are a part of the African diaspora, the African American community in particular, look, it is so important that we connect with Momma Africa. I didn't say you have to move here, but I think it would be so beneficial for us to connect back to Momma Africa. It is so healing. It removes the mystery. It fills the void. And then it removes all the stigma that we have, as it relates to Africa. So coming back, connecting is just so important, and it's just so beneficial, especially to the African American community, right? So I wanted to do this video to talk about what do you need to do to come to Africa? What do you need to do? What are some of the arrangements that you need to make, right? Listen, I am here to tell you it is easier than what you think. It is easier what you think. Booking a trip to Africa, it is not that difficult. Some of you may want to use a travel agent. That is perfectly fine, where you can get a package deal, pay on your trips or what have you. Some of you may want to use a concierge service. You might be comfortable booking your own tickets, and that sort of thing. And you just may want someone to help you navigate the country while you're here. You or your group. People travel alone. People travel with groups. I have found this place to be very, very safe, right? Some of my friends who live in other countries on the continent, they have found it to be safe where they are. Because listen, I know sometimes we talk about Africa as if it's a country. No, baby, we are from a continent, okay? This is not one country. This is a continent with 54 countries, okay? So anyway, I want to talk to y'all about what you need to be able to travel to Africa. So the first thing that you're going to need is a valid passport. A valid passport, okay? The reason why I'm saying a valid passport, because most countries will not accept you into the country if your passport is going to expire within the next 6 months, okay? So you have to have at least 6 months or more on your passport before it expires, okay? If you do not have the 6 months on your passport, go ahead and get it renewed, okay? If you don't have a passport at all, you can go to your local post office to get a passport, all right? I also recommend that you get some passport photos taken, okay? Now, if you go to your local post office, they can probably take your picture there, but you always want to have extra passport photos. So you can go to Walgreens, QVS, I think it's like $14 they give you like a strip of photos. That is always good to have because you might need those photos for other documents later on, okay? So the first thing you want to do to make sure that you have a valid passport. The second thing that you want to do is start looking for a flight. Start looking for a flight. The same way that you will look for flights going anywhere. You can go to Google Flights. There's a site, y'all. There's a site called, it's either alternate flights or alternative flights. You can book a round trip ticket to Africa and make payments on your ticket. Okay, so if you're thinking about traveling, next year, you can go to alternate flights, get your ticket, and just make payments on it. All right, and I'm sure that there are other I think cheaptickets.com. There's other little companies out there that would even allow you to pay on your trip. Okay, or you can put it on a credit card and pay for it, or if you got the money just to pay for it outright, you can do that too. Okay, so but let me tell y'all what I do. When I am in the U.S. and I'm ready to travel back to Kenya, I fly Kenya Airways. I like Kenya Airways. I love Kenya Airways. So Kenya Airways have a direct flight from JFK directly into Nairobi. When you get on that plane at JFK, by the time when it's time for you to get off, you already in Africa. You don't have to worry about going through other foreign airports, dealing with a whole bunch of baggages and that sort of thing. That I love that direct flight. I think Delta might have a direct flight from Atlanta, but Kenya Airways definitely have a direct flight out of JFK. I love it. So what I do is I take a domestic flight from New Orleans to JFK and JFK to Nairobi. That's my route. I love it. It's like a 14 about 12 to 14 hour flight. Look, some of y'all might be saying, I never been on a plane that long. Look, you wouldn't even realize you're on a plane that long, because when you're taking international flights, you have your little fluffy socks, you have pillows and blankets, you can watch movies. There's lots of movies that you can watch. You can watch TV shows, sitcoms. You control what you want to watch when you want to watch it with the headphones that they give you. They feed you. Every time you turn around, they're feeding you. Every time it's either a snack, a meal, a drink, something. So you're entertained, you're eating, you're comfortable, and you're relaxing, right? So listen, and then you're gonna sleep half the time. So yeah, and especially people who usually, like, when they take something to fly, if you're taking like a sleeping pill, or something, or melatonin or something to that effect, you're gonna sleep half the time, you're gonna watch movies the other half the time, and then you're gonna be eating. Before you know it, you are already at your destination, okay? So look, you can make it a fun thing, especially if you're traveling with other people, okay? I have been mostly traveling alone, and most people I know, they travel alone or as groups or families, right? So whether you traveling alone, whether you with a group, it's going to be fine. Like, I love it. So you have a valid passport, you want to book your flight, and go ahead and book your hotel. Okay, you can book your hotel, or you can book an Airbnb. Listen, I like the Airbnbs. Airbnbs don't cost in some of your African countries the same that it costs in the United States. I'm normally paying $40, $60, maybe $70 a night for an Airbnb. Y'all can go to the Airbnb site, put in Nairobi, and there's gonna be a slew of places that's gonna come up for you. So it's the same way that you would book an Airbnb anywhere else. You can have the room, reserve the room, until it's time for you to actually come. You can have your Airbnb already booked. You can have your flight already booked, right? Now, some people may want to use a concierge service where there's someone on the ground here. They'll pick, they can arrange for a driver picking you up, and they can develop an itinerary for you and that sort of thing. That option is available also. So if you guys want to know about a concierge service who can, help you navigate, let me know, and I can send you some referrals, right? I'm not in the concierge business, but I am not opposed to meeting anybody either. But I'm not in that business. I don't book tours or anything like that, right? So I think it will be fun. Maybe one day I'll get into it, but right now that's just not an area that I'm in, but I can definitely give you some recommendations. So y'all, look, it is not as hard. It is not, look. Anyway, Okay, so you got your valid passport, and now you book your flight. You have your Airbnb or your hotel booked. All right. So now, what you want to do is you want to see if that country requires you to have a visa. Some African countries require American citizens to have a visa, and some African countries don't. For you to know which countries require it and which countries that don't, I'm going to give you this website. It's called travel.state.gov. Again, travel.state.gov. You can, once you log into that site, you click international, and whichever country you're going to, Kenya, Ghana, I don't care if it's Portugal, Europe, wherever, right? They will give you a list of all the requirements, and they will tell you if a visa is needed for American citizens to travel to that country. All right. And so I think like South Africa, visa is not required. I think Namibia, I don't think a visa is required in Namibia. There's a visa that's required in Kenya. Some visas you can get on arrival. So once you get to the country, then you go to the stand and tell them that you need to get a visa, right? Some countries require you to have a visa beforehand. Like Kenya has the online e-visa. If you're thinking about coming to Kenya, evisa.go.ke. evisa.go.ke. If you're coming to Kenya, that's the site that you go to apply for your visa. Okay, so what is a visa? A visa is basically a document that gives you permission to be in another country, and there's various types of visas, but we're talking about a tourist visa for you. Okay, so a visa basically says we give her permission to be in our country as a tourist. That's all a visa is. Okay, so like for Kenya, if you do the e-visa, you're gonna get the visa in your email, right? But you're not gonna know how long it's approved for until you actually get to Kenya at the airport. And they're gonna ask you, they're gonna say, Caribou, Kenya, how long you plan on being here? I always, when I was on the tourist visa, I would say 3 months, and I would get a stamp for 3 months. Some people said that they only got 30 days. So it depends. Some of you are only gonna be here for 2 weeks. So you just tell them how long you plan on being here. If you plan on being here for 2 weeks, I would still say 30 days, because you never know what will happen, or 3 months, or however long you plan on being here, right? And that's when they're gonna stamp that piece of paper when you get to the airport. Okay, and so that's basically what a visa is. Everybody doesn't require it, some people do. Okay, so you got your visa. You need to look at the COVID restrictions. Okay, like for Kenya, Kenya, oh, I love Kenya so much, because they just lifted this. I was so mad at them because they had the mandatory vaccine for a while, and they just updated the travel restrictions. So for instance, like when you come to Kenya, you need to have a valid COVID test or vaccination card, either or. Okay, and your COVID test has to be 72 hours. So your COVID test, it can't be 96 hours or anything like that. It has to be, you have to be have boarded your plane with a valid COVID test, and it cannot be more than 72 hours. All right, your results cannot be no more than 72 hours. So Kenya requires a valid COVID test or a vaccination card. All right, and so for Kenya, I don't know about some of the other countries. That's why it's going to be important that you go to this travel.state.gov to get the requirements. But I know for Kenya, they want you to upload your COVID test or your vaccination card into a website that's called Global Haven. Now, you don't have to do this until you get ready to travel. Global Haven, what they're going to do is give you a QV, it's a QV code. They're going to give you that QV code on a sheet of paper, and that's what you're going to show to the airport, because they're going to scan it. They may not accept your hard copy for your test or your vaccination card. They want you to upload it into this Global Haven, okay? globalhaven.org. globalhaven.org, okay? So let me review this, because it's not that serious. Okay, you're gonna have your valid passport. You're gonna book your flight. You're gonna book your Airbnb, reserve your Airbnb or your hotel. You're gonna go to that site to find out what type of visa you need. If you come to Kenya, you're gonna go to that e-visa site, evisa.go.ke. You're gonna apply for your visa. They're gonna give you your visa in the email. All right. Then when you, like maybe the week of your travel, you're gonna go to that Global Haven. You're gonna upload your COVID test, or you're gonna upload your vaccination card. If it's a COVID test, y'all know y'all not gonna upload it until like when you get your results. So it's gonna be like maybe the day of. You're just gonna upload your stuff into there, because they may not take your hard copy. That's it. That's it. That's it. It's not so. Yeah, so you can start doing your research now to determine which African country you want to go to first. I recommend a soft landing. I recommend a country with a soft landing. Some of your countries with a soft landing would be Kenya, Ghana, South Africa, maybe Zimbabwe. You can go see Victoria Falls. Sierra Leone. I don't know if Sierra Leone may not be as developed, but people go to Sierra Leone. They have beautiful beaches and all that. Senegal. So these are countries with a soft landing for African Americans who have never been on the continent. Okay? So I hope this video have helped you guys. If y'all have any questions, any comments, y'all need me to clarify anything, y'all drop it in the comment section. Y'all know I be in my comments. So any questions that you guys may have about traveling to Africa, drop it in the comments, and I will definitely respond to each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye.